Uh, First of all, remember your church, Northview Missionary Baptist Church, Brother Mike and his family. And also, as a reminder, love offerings, turn those in for Brother Mike's retirement, turn those in to Tanya. She volunteered a little bit to do that. And so to turn those in to Tanya, she'll get them to the right people. His retirement will be next month. Please continue to pray for Kendall. And where'd Kendall go? There she is. Kendall and her family. Steve and Becky Bowles. Shane Broadway. Anita Thornton's mom. Philip Purdom. Miss Coffey. Berta DeBerry. Mr. Scroggins. Larry Bates. Rebecca. Is Rebecca Head here? I haven't seen her this morning. Okay, y'all pray for Rebecca too. She's had another kind of tough week, and so remember her and remember her friend Mary, Charner Franklin, Christy Gable, Sandy Head, Judy Rogers, Mike Bolding, Dean Smothers, Rita Veazey, Michael Ruffin. Y'all still got me on here. Y'all can take me off. I don't deserve your prayers. I do appreciate the way things went last Sunday night, by the way, and it was quite an honor for that to happen. Paige Reed's daughter, Lori Klein, William Allen, Eloise Campbell, Lauren Parker Clay, Eason, Ryan's Uncle Ned and Ed. Did they do that on purpose? They're not blood related? How about that? Ned and Ed. I like that. Sounds like Green Acres.
Well, so Uncle Ed's a twin.
Yeah?
And his real name's Eddie, right?
He don't know.
I'm pretty sure it is. So it's Eddie.
Look at him.
And then his twins, Eddie and Betty.
Eddie and Betty? My goodness. That sounds like some equipment stuff going on. Ogden Berry. That's been on here for a while. Oh, I forgot. Excuse me. The Everleys, Kate and Sage. And we got Keith and Gayla Bogey. Ogden Berry is Becky's co-worker for a long time, her husband. He was placed on hospice care, but things took a really bad turn this weekend. And so y'all pray for that family. I think that may be getting closer than they know. So Jason Johnson, Randall Martin, I've already mentioned Rebecca, Samantha D., Brian Little, Angie Brewer, Bill Staggs, Whitney Robinson, Sandra Daniel, Rhonda Scott. Any updates on these guys? Shout them out. Gigi Parker, Doug, we still have the Beckmans on here, Mr. Beckman. We have taken the Scott and Aquin family off for right now. Ken Coker, Debbie Schubert, Mitchell Taylor, Miss Kathy and her family, Andrea Barber, Lisa Fink, Connie Foreman, Greg's request for David Roker. He informed me this morning that he has had his final treatment. They're just waiting on to see how the scans go now to see if there's anything else needs to be done for his cancer treatment. Martha Giroux, Bobby and Ella Taylor, Linda Weehunt, Gary Miller, Rebecca's boss. Her father is suffering. Randall Martin. Is that right? Okay. Okay. I didn't notice that. I'm just reading down the list, man. Adam Keeling, Martha. Oh, she's on here. Brett, what are you doing, man? Beverly Whitlock. We got an update on Miss Bev? Good, good. Doug and Terry McClendon. My cousin's husband, Gene McIntyre. Laverne Reynolds. Update on Laverne.
She's actually doing really good right now. She had an MRI done this past week on the spot they found on her liver.
Mm-hmm.
And we see the urology oncologist for her bladder cancer on the 2nd of December, but he sent a message that he felt very good about that scan, that it wasn't related. So
Okay.
I don't think that cancer had spread. So
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. Gary Bearden, Gary's, Gary is undergoing radiation treatments right now for the spot on his top of his head. Excuse me, Kane Griffin, Dustin Clearly, Jasmine, Audrey White. Miss Audrey has been moved into a long-term rehab center right now. They're trying to work with her on some rehab, but she's also in the same one as Miss Coffee. So they've connected, and it's been good for both of them. Galen McClanahan and the Lost, of course. I mentioned Brother Mike's love offering. We also need to remember Greg, because Janet is retiring Wednesday. And Greg, they're going to be at home together. So Greg or somebody one of y'all need to get a part-time job for the sake of your marriage. I'd like to see y'all stay together. All right. All right. I have the new literature. Yes. Good. Amen. Amen. Good to hear. Thank you very much. That's wonderful news. Thank you. Prayers answered. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Yeah. She's staying at home, right? Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you, Debbie. Others? Okay. Thank you. Your sister. Okay. 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 Thank you. And we want to continue to lift up Amy and Ryan and their family, please. Lots of prayers have gone up for them. They still need some prayers, I'm sure. So, other request? New literature is right back there on that banister. The new Sunday school books for the next quarter, so grab those as you go out. I also have to tell you that you guys got volunteered for something else because you're such good people. Angel Tree. We have 3 that our class is responsible for, and I will give this to Judy. I tell you what, you and Janet work together on this. Yeah, she's retiring, so she's got plenty of time. These are our Angel Tree. We have the requirements are on here. See these guys for the requirements and what's needed. Gift guidelines, all those kinds of things are on these lists. We've done these every year for a long time as a class, and y'all really done well with it. Let's see if I can see that. I was just handed this morning, probably before Christmas. Yeah, and it's almost the end of November. I don't see it right here. I'm sorry. Maybe these ladies that are heading this up can tell y'all what it is. Thank you. I got too much to do, man. All right. Any other announcements, prayer requests, updates? Y'all remember Brother Mike's love offering and these Angel Tree items too, okay? Yeah. 15th of December? Okay. And normally we bring them in a black bag or give them to Shirley in the black bag. Right. It has to be wrapped, but it's always generic, isn't it? Keep reading, Judy. We'll get more into that when we have time. All right. Let's go to the Lord in prayer. And we're thankful for our guests being here today. We're thankful for our visitors. We're thankful for each one of you who are here today. And let's ask for God to bless our day and worship for Him. Okay? Debbie, would you open us, please? Mm. Amen. Amen. Debbie mentioned something in her prayer. We need to pray for God's man to come here, or God's men to come here. And I believe if we as a church will make that a matter of prayer, as we should have for the last couple of years since we've known about this, I believe if we really earnestly pray for that, I know God answers prayer. And He'll send exactly who He wants to be our lead pastor at this church. Okay? Y'all pray for that, please. Okay, we're going back to the book of Ecclesiastes. Brett, are you about tired? Are you not tired, but are you about ready to get out of the book of Ecclesiastes as I am too? Ecclesiastes is tough to teach from because it's just the whole book is a metaphor, and you can take it so many different ways. You can take it, but the cool thing about it is you can apply it to yourself personally. As God's Word teaches us, that you can take these lessons and these verses and say, okay, this one definitely applies to where I am right now. And as Brett has explained, I think last week again, that we know that Solomon is in his latter years right now. His good years are behind him. Rich man, wise man, we know all that, but we also know that he made some mistakes. And he's looking back on his life like many of us are doing right now. And you can look back in your life and you can say, okay, well, I would have, if given me another chance, I would have done this differently, or I would have taken advantage of this. And that's where he is right now. So he's pointing out things that he's remembering and thinking about in his own life, but we can definitely apply that to our lives. Ecclesiastes chapter 11, guys. We'll start in verse 1. This book is just a lot like Proverbs. We can take a lot of wisdom from it. We can take a lot of great ideas from it. And he goes on in chapter 11, verse 1, saying, "Cast thy bread upon the waters, for thou shalt find it after many days. Give a portion to 7, and also to 8, for thou knowest not what evil shall be upon the earth." All right, I'm going to ask the class, what in the heck is he talking about here? Y'all didn't read your Sunday school lesson, did you? I know. Cast your bread upon the waters. Well, the Sunday School Quarterly, the guy that wrote it, he's talking about some financial stuff right here. And he's saying, cast it out on the water. Well, does it sound like it makes good sense to take your money and throw it out on the water? And just watch it go down the stream or down the river? It doesn't sound like a good idea, does it? What should we do? Hey, Rebecca. What should we do with our money? With our, I won't even call it wealth. What should we do with the money that God blesses us with? Do we just cast it out? We should be wise with it, shouldn't we? First and foremost, we should what? With the first, we go by Old Testament Scripture, and we go by 10% goes back to where? Goes back to God and His house. I don't think people realize, I know we have a business meeting, and I know that we have a financial report. But you don't realize until you sit in one of those business meetings and come to one of those business meetings and see and hear that financial report at what it takes, what it costs for this church to function. Between salaries, utilities, all those kinds of things. New roofs for $22,000. Where does that come from? It comes from us giving our tithe and offering to the church. We don't just cast it out on streams and waters and watch it go down there. We use it wisely. Now, I don't know about you guys. I've not been blessed with great riches. Anybody in here rich? If they are, I want to get closer to you. I want us to become very, very good friends. What I love about this church is we have some people that go to this church who do well. They do very well. All of our membership is great with their offerings and tithes. And we have some people who do very well, and they do exactly what they've been told to in the Bible. Because without them, God put them here for a reason. Without them, sometimes we'd be in trouble. Those people give more than they have to give or are required to give, Debbie. They give more, abundantly. If there's a need that comes up in this church, and it's not always the same people. If there's a need that this church has, Brett, it will surprise you that all of a sudden that need's taken care of. You can't invest any more wisely than investing in the church. Y'all didn't know we was going to talk about offerings this morning, did you? But that's just the way this church has always been. We've been blessed to have those kind of people here, members who love God enough that they're going to give at the right time, at the right place. Verse 3 says, "If the clouds be full of rain, they empty themselves upon the earth. And if the tree fall toward the south or toward the north, in the place wherein it fall, there it lies." You read these things and you're going, okay, well, this makes total sense, but where are we going with this? Things are going to happen the way they're going to happen, guys. What's the old saying? If a tree falls in the woods and nobody's there, can you hear it? Huh? Yeah, that's the same thing as can you hear it, isn't it? Can you? It definitely makes a noise. You're just not there to hear it. If the church is open on Sunday morning, if you're not here, you're not going to hear it. It's still making the noise. It's still making strides. It's still preaching the gospel. It's still singing worship. But if you're not here, you don't hear it. See how I did that, Brett? We miss a blessing when we're not in God's house, period. Somewhere, somehow, something is going to bless us when we come here. And I mean, even if you come here frumped up, mad, irritable, if you'll pay attention, there's going to be a song, there's going to be a person that walks up to you and says something to you, and it's going to be a blessing for you when they show up. Verse 4 says, "He that observeth the wind shall not sow, and he that regardeth the clouds shall not reap." He's talking about a farmer here who cast their seeds out into the wind. And then the wind disperses those seeds for his crops. He doesn't know where they're going to fall. He's got a pretty good idea. He doesn't know if they're going to grow. He doesn't know if it's going to rain. But he's out there in the wind, Brett, throwing those seeds up into the wind, letting them go wherever they want. Wherever the wind takes them, he's got faith. He's got faith that wherever those seeds lie, they were meant to lie there. The rain's going to come for them when it's needed. The sun's going to come for them when it's needed. And that's the kind of faith we have to have about our daily lives, folks. Do you have faith? When you get up in the morning on Monday morning, do you have faith in the day? If you think about that, that can be tough to get faith about, because we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. We think we do. Well, I think that I'm going to get up in the morning at 6, and Becky's going to get up when I do, and she's going to be smiling. That ain't going to happen. I'm going to leave for work, and it's still going to be dark in my house. And I'm going to get on the interstate, and I'm going to drive to Bryant, and everything's going to go just like I planned it last Friday when I left the office, Danny. Danny's laughing about that because he knows that's a ridiculous statement. It's not going to happen, is it? I have thrown the seed for tomorrow for my work. I don't know what kind of problems are going to show up. First of all, somebody's going to call and they're stuck in traffic on I-30. Happens every day. I don't plan for that, but I know it's going to happen. If you ever tried to get down I-30 in the mornings between the hours of 6 a.m. and 9 a.m., stay home. I'm going to get that call, and somebody's going to be stuck in traffic, so they're going to be late. Or there's going to be an accident. Or somebody's calling in sick. Or I get to the office, and it's dark, and the guy that's supposed to unlock the building hadn't unlocked the building yet because he's homesick, and I don't know it yet, and I got to figure out how to turn the alarm off. We don't know, do we? We just cast our seed out there, and we pray that God blesses that seed where it falls with our day. Anybody got any comments on that? Verse 5 says, "As thou knowest not what is the way of the Spirit, nor how the bones do grow in the womb of her that is with child, even so thou knowest not the works of God who maketh all." We just don't know, do we? But I'm going to tell you something. He mentioned something here that it's always amazed me. When we go to the hospital and we see that newborn baby for the first time, how does that make you feel? It's just a miracle in itself. And you look at their little feet and hands and you think, how? How did you do this, God? How did you create this perfect little guy or this perfect little girl? And that's the only ones there are, guys. It's girls and guys, right? They're not born with confused. How did he do that? I remember my grandkids, and I could look at their little hands, and their tiny little fingernails were already shaped. And you're like, you got to be kidding me. There's nothing there but God. Nothing but God in that. And it's just it amazes me every time that the process of birth and the process of a child growing. And then it amazes me, and I know Debbie and some of you others who have taught kids in this church, and some of them are sitting in this room today. It amazes us to see these children grow up to the adults that they are. What the lives they've led. The families that they're raising. And to watch them grow up in a church setting. To watch my family grow up in a church setting. My grandchildren are here. You can't put a price on that, folks. You thank God for it, and that's part of living wisely. To live wisely is to have your family in church. Verse 6 and 7, "In the morning sow thy seed, and in the evening withhold not thine hand. For thou knowest not whether they shall prosper, either this or that, or whether they both shall be alike good. Truly the light is sweet and pleasant thing for the eyes to behold the sun." Verse 8, "But if a man live many years, and rejoice in them all, let him remember the days of darkness, for they shall be many. All that cometh is vanity." He tells us in our old age to remember the dark days. Why would he tell us, do you think, to remember the dark days? We have those dark days. We want to forget that. We don't ever want to talk about it again. Why would he remind us to remember the dark days in our old age? Kendall's going through some dark days right now. It builds you. It creates you. It makes you stronger. And you can look back and you can see things that maybe, in her case, there may be no mistakes, but what I'm saying is you can also look back in some dark days and you go, maybe if we had done this differently. The next time this comes up, God, what do you want me to do with this situation? Because I know how we are. Mike, I'm going to run out there and do it exactly the way I want to do it. Me. I'm going to do it myself. I'm going to do it myself, and I'm going to get it done tomorrow, if not today. I'm not going to wait. I'm not going to really look into it real good. I know what the problem is, and I know what the answer is. Wrong. I don't. I have no clue. Waiting is one of the hardest things we have in our lives to do. Wait. Okay, I mentioned Kendall. She's still waiting to find out if you're still going to do more treatments or not, right? Yeah, when? Can you imagine? I know I've got to go through more of this, but when? I want it to happen. If I'm going to have to do it, I just as soon it start this week and get it done. Can't do that. Can't do that. It's one of the hardest things we have to do. But he warns us that all of our years, no matter how many years are behind us, some of you are younger and some of you are older. There's not many in here that's older than I am. So there's a lot in here that are younger than I am. Don't forget those dark days, because you can learn from that. You can correct things. You can do better with those thoughts. All right, let's move on to chapter 11, verse 9. Being young. How many people in this room today are young? Ryan put his hand up quick. You did too, Rebecca. Huh? I mean, when I said be young, y'all's hands went up quick. Like, are you stupid, Randy? You don't know that I'm young? Put your hand down, Greg. Not going to happen, bud. Verse 9 says, Rejoice, O young man, in thy youth, and let thy heart cheer thee in the days of thy youth, and walk in the ways of thine heart. And in the sight of thine eyes, but know thou that for all these things God will bring thee into judgment. Now I'm going to tell you something. If I start looking back on my youth, Mike, and the things I've done, don't be getting nervous, Doug, because I'm coming over here.
I was Richie Cunningham.
You, I know better than that. You might pass that off to some of these other people.
Everybody knows I was.
If I start remembering the days of my youth, Tammy, don't say anything. What am I looking at? You know? You think about the same thing. You think about the days of your youth. What are you looking back on? What did you do and how did you handle yourself in your youth? It can be scary, can't it? Did any of us make any mistakes in our youth? Don't say it, Ryan. First things first. Why did you shave your head? Huh? Lazy joker. Get up and do your hair, man. He does, yeah. Yeah. The things of our youth, Ryan. Appreciate it while you've got it, bud. You got guys in here that ain't had no hair in years, and you're going to shave yours voluntarily. Get the mullet back out. But he's telling us that, rejoice, O young man, in your youth, but remember, he's always telling us in this scripture to remember what's happened in our lives. Verse 10 says, Therefore remove sorrow from thy heart, and put away evil from thy flesh, for childhood and youth are vanity. What is vanity? Somebody help me out there. Foolishness? Yeah. It's all about self too, isn't it? And when we were young, and when the young... You volunteered that you were young, Rebecca.
I'm not 40 yet.
Well, Rebecca's getting kind of. Yes, you are young. How old are you, Ryan? You raised your hand first.
No, you're not. He's 39.
Man, you're in the Lord's house. 32, I think back to 32. I think back to 40 and what I was doing. And you can too, right? Look back at those days when you were 32 and 40, Judy, and remember what you were doing and what you were not doing. Because even in your youth, you can live wisely. But we make mistakes because of our youth. We make bad judgments because of our youth. We make poor decisions because of our youth. Right, Presley? Hello. Verse 12, but he goes on and jumps over to verse 12, chapter 12, verse 1. Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, for the years draw nigh when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. Looking back on your life, was it all worth it? Was everything you did in your youth worth the risk, worth the challenge, worth the trying it? Some things maybe. But you'll probably realize that there's a lot of things that, man, I wish I hadn't tried that. And if you're saying that, then you have learned something from your youth. Haven't we all learned something from our youth? Something that we'll never forget, and we'll never do it. We'll never try it that way again. We'll never do that again. Or we know better than to try it again, Greg. I see you over there. Boy, that's the truth. That's the truth. You know, I used to think my parents were just stupid. Because I thought they're country folk. They don't know. You know, they don't know where I am half the time. They knew. They knew. Because somebody in the neighborhood would call them and tell them where I was. Man, I did. How stupid was that? I stole a cigarette from my aunt when I was, 12, 13. And where did I go smoke it, Danny? But in front of the picture window in the house. I got in front of the house down in the bushes, and I'm puffing away on that, and the smoke's going up, and my aunt walks over and starts picking on the window, looking down at me. That was the end of my smoking days. Oh, Lord. I'm thinking already, is that God or my daddy? Man, I remember those voices coming from nowhere. You think you're the only person in the world till that voice comes around. All right, he's talking about being young and being smart when you're young. Some of it's too late. Well, we can look back on our youth and think about the good times, the bad times, the good decisions, and the bad decisions, right? Then he goes over into what I think the majority of us, Jasmine, not all of us. And Rebecca, you said you're 40, so I'm leaving you out of this conversation. Oh man, did I? I'm sorry, Rebecca. Okay. Rebecca done got violent with me. I think Rebecca wants to fight. All right, here we go. We're talking about old people now, Rebecca. You're not old, okay? Yes, ma'am. She's getting some spirit about her, guys. I like it, Rebecca. I like it. All right. Growing old. While the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease. You know what those grinders are? Your teeth. When your grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out the windows be darkened. That's your eyesight. He's talking about growing old. When you start losing your eyesight, when you start losing the ability to use your teeth right, the way they were used to. And the doors be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up with the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. He's talking about growing old. Your hair, your hearing. So he's already described that you've lost your way of chewing your food, you're losing your eyesight, you're losing your hearing. And I think in the next few verses he talks about your hair getting gray. Growing old. Should we be afraid of growing old? Why? What are you going to do about it, right? What are you going to do about it anyway? So you sit and you worry about growing old. What are you doing? You're just putting more years on yourself sitting there worrying about it. Now, does that mean that we're not supposed to take care of ourselves? No, it means that we need to take care of ourselves. And if we want to put some color in our hair, to make us feel better about ourselves, then do so. Accept it. Some people have a hard time accepting that they're getting old. I, for one, am one of those people who think that I can still do things that I still fool myself into thinking that I can do this. And then when I get out of the shower and I can barely step over the curb of the shower to get out, I realize that I shouldn't have tried that. I should have asked for some help. Or I should have had my sons do it. My son-in-law and my son do it, or help me with it. I'm bad about trying to do things on my own. Danny, does this ring true? And I think all of us, especially us guys, we have a hard time with older age than women do. I'm just telling you, we do. Women can still. Debbie is like 80, and she looks great.
Take it back.
I know. She knows I jest. And then there's the gray that comes into our hair, guys, and we can't hardly stand that. And then we have this table. And I feel bad for you guys, but y'all have managed it well. You handle it well, Doug. Don't let it bother you that you have very little hair. But that's what he's saying, though, guys. Think about the days that are coming. So most of us are not to this point yet, that we're losing our eyesight. Pardon? We're getting close. Well, we are getting close, Debbie. Think about what can happen in the next 10 years if the Lord doesn't come back. Just 10 years from now. That's right. And Debbie, you bring up a great point. You think about the folks we have on our prayer list, and we have a lot of senior folks on our prayer list who have, and it started by a fall, or it started with a surgery. It can happen that quick before we know it. But we know that, so what do we do with that knowledge? We make the best of what we can in the moment, guys. We live for God in the moment that we're in right now. And then if we get up out of bed tomorrow morning, we live for God another day. And when we get up the next day, guess what? We live for God another day. Don't stop living for God because you're getting older. Relish it. Use it daily. And I promise you, there's no scientific fact behind this, but I see it so much that we have a lot of folks in our church who have lived a long life because they were godly people. They lived a long life, a good life. Janet, how old is your mom now? There you go. And that's a godly woman. I've talked to this woman. I know she's a godly woman. It makes a lot of difference, guys, when your outlook on life relies on God. It makes a difference. It makes a difference in your decisions. It makes a difference in the way you live your life. Verse 5 says, also, when they shall be afraid of that which is high, and fears shall be in the way, and the almond tree shall flourish, and the grasshopper shall be a burden, and desire shall fail, because the man goeth to his long home, and the mourners go about the streets. He's talking about death. What better thing for a Christian is death? Or ever the silver cord be loosened, or the golden bowl be broken, or the pitcher be broken at the fountain, or the wheel broken at the cistern. Then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, and the spirit shall return unto God who gave it. Vanity of vanities, saith the preacher. All is vanity. All of it's pride, guys. Pride in our youth, pride in our old age. And I have to be careful here, because I think you do have to have a certain amount of pride. Otherwise, you don't care. We have to care about ourselves, and we have to care about others. But don't make pride and vanity the number one goal of your life. Because as he's explained it here, whether you're young or old, vanity is sinful. That's not to say that we're not supposed to look our best and clean ourselves up and clothe ourselves correctly. It's not saying that. I think we all know what he means by true vanity. And that means putting ourselves above anybody else, including our God. Any comments? I've picked on so many people today, you probably won't be back next week. But I appreciate y'all being here today. And I do, back to our prayer list, I do covet your prayers. We will be having an ordination service next Sunday night, and I ask for your prayers for that and for those taking part. Any questions, any comments? Yes, ma'am? Yes, please. Please. Okay. So there's three individuals. Okay. Right. Right. And what are the things on the list?
Well, like for a 7-year-old male, a coat size 7, pants and joggers size 7, socks, shoe size 12-1. For the 10-year-old of that family, pants and leggings size 8, a coat size 8, socks 6-8. Some of the baby.
Mm. Oh.
So on the orange sheet you have, there's suggestions. Of course, the backside specific suggestions to that kid, but they always, and then the Angel Tree, if y'all familiar with it, they encourage like a coat, a winter coat,
Mm-hmm.
whatever, a couple of pairs of pants or whatever, and then kind of addressing their wants after that. So I'll send that in the group if y'all are okay with that.
Yeah.
And then I'll send the details of each child. Like I said, there's 2 of those 7-year-old and 8-year-old. 7 male and 8-year-old female.
Y'all,
That way y'all have all that on your follow-up to Christ.
y'all have always come through with these angel tree gifts, and you've done a great job. And most everybody knows how it works, I think. But let's make sure we get behind this. And like Judy said, we've got a short window here to get that done. But right. Yeah.
What do you say,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Y'all can send Greg out to the mall. Greg and Doug out to the mall and buy this stuff. No, it's the limit. There's no limit on it. So I do remember that Tanya's done this before for us. The only reason I didn't ask her this time is because he's already handling the Brother Mike offerings. But yeah, I think that's what you've done in the past. taken money up and bought the items. They came as a team today. Did y'all notice that? They came as a team today. They both came in team purple. Mr. Randy.
Cash or check to the lady, Carol, be thankful for that. If you need the Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal, you can send it to me personally, and I'll make sure that they'll get Ryan's check.
Okay.
Not to the church on, to me directly.
Yeah.
And I can tell them all of
Okay.
that. I know sometimes that's easier to fix stuff in the church.
All right. Thank you, guys. Let's go to the Lord in prayer before we go down to worship Him. All right. Ryan, would you close us, please?